Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is the Into the Weekend with BetDSI show, the call we do every week with Brent, the headlines manager at DSI Sportsbook. We just got finished discussing college football Week 14. Now we're going to take a look at NFL Week 13. Brent, thanks so much for being here once again.
All right, let's go, Peter.
All right, let's go for it. The first game I want to ask you about is a little personal for me, actually. Pats at Houston. You know, I had this game pegged as, a game that the public was going to love the Pats on, and that Houston might be a big sharp side. I previewed this game, though, with two professional handicappers in our roster here this week, and both of them like the Pats. So now I'm thinking maybe I'm way off. Everyone seems to be loving the Pats. What's the action been like on this game?
Yeah, I'm not going to say that you're not sharp, Peter, but they're right. You are off on this one. I've seen nothing but sharp money on New England. Obviously the number opened kind of low. We're sitting at 7.5 right now, and there was money that came in like below 7. But even at 7, I had sharps coming in, and it's sharps and public on that way. I've got basically no action really to speak of on Houston. So yeah, they're right on that one. We're sitting at 7.5, and right now we need Houston big.
All right, there you go. My bets on Houston are going to be pulled right after this call. So then if the Pats cover, is that going to be a big loss for you then?
Yeah, it's going to be bad for us. And, of course, the teasers, a line like 7.5, people tease New England down to a pick all the time. So New England's in a ton of teasers, so that's not going to be a good one for us if it turns out the way the sharps are going.
So the sharps are on it, the public's on it, and everyone's going to be teasing it. So if you lose a game like that in all ways, if it covers, does that ruin your Sunday, or is it something you can weather?
No, it just puts me in a bad mood, that's all.
Right. Okay, all right. And then two big underdogs that I suspect might be sharp sides. I'm almost sure one of them is, right? Jacksonville and Tampa Bay, both of them, about 7.5, or either of those or both sharp sides this week?
Tampa Bay was sharp, yeah. But It's actually a lot of public money who's been betting on Jacksonville this week. My count's about 3-1 in favor of them. The money's only about 2-1 in favor of Jacksonville. Now, I don't really have any sharps involved on the side of this game. I do have sharp money on the under 41. We're sitting at 40 right now. So there's sharp money on this game on the under, I guess thinking neither of these teams are going to score, which, may slightly favor Jacksonville getting the points. But it's mostly public money on Jacksonville, which I found kind of surprising.
All right, that's very interesting and illuminating. And then Tampa Bay is a sharp side, right?
Tampa Bay, yeah, I had sharp money coming on Tampa Bay plus the 8.
Right.
The count's pretty much even. Carolina with the big run is going to attract a lot of public money. So with the sharps on one side and mostly public money on Carolina, we should be balanced with this one.
All right, so that's interesting then. The public is not afraid to take a 7-point road dog as we see with the Jacksonville game, but you could say the same thing about Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's been winning as a big dog. They were a horrible team in disarray earlier in the year. Why isn't the public all over Tampa Bay as well?
Well, it's because, just like we talked about when Kansas City was on their big streak, people were betting them no matter what the line was. When you're on a streak like Carolina is, having won 7 in a row, people are just going to bet them blindly. If this were a case where, Carolina had won 1 in a row and lost the week before or whatever, you'd probably see a different scenario, but they'll back Carolina just because they're streaking.
All right, and then two totals that I'm almost sure are big public overs is the Minnesota game and the Philly game.
Minnesota-Chicago. Unfortunately, that one's a sharp play as well. The over 49 was sharp money, and of course I got public money there as well. The count favors the over by about 4-1 right now. Haven't got much under at all. And the Philly game was, where are we looking at here? Yeah, not a ton of money actually on the total right now so far. We're sitting at 48.5. The Philly's favored at home by 3. The over's not a big one right now, but definitely the Chicago-Minnesota total over was public and sharp.
All right, and then just from the rest of the card, NFL Week 13, what can you tell us about notable sharp and or public action?
I'd say not a ton of stuff that jumps out. We touched on, it's funny, one of the games we touched on were mostly where the sharps are playing. New England minus the 7 was sharp action. The under 41 Jacksonville-Cleveland was sharp. Over in Chicago, Minnesota, over 49 is sharp. I also have Cincinnati, San Diego going under 49. That's sharp there. We're sitting at 48 right now. And the Giants in Washington, the under 46.5 is sharp money. And that's kind of a good situation for us because the public is, typically a Giants-Washington game. Public is going to be over on that game, and they are betting the over. My count favors the over by about 4-1 right now, but the money's mostly under. So that's a game where we're going to have public money all on the over and sharp money on the under. Monday night, there's not a whole lot to report just yet, but teasers we'll just touch on. The heavily teased teams this week are Denver, Carolina, Buffalo, New England, and the Giants. Kind of surprised with Buffalo getting a lot of teaser action, but they're home to Atlanta, and people are really staying away from Atlanta the last couple of weeks, Peter.
All right, that just about wraps it up, I guess, for NFL Week 13. Thanks, as always,